Hello and welcome to another segment of Nigeria Decides 2023. My name is Dami Opunshaki. With me the segment is Mr. Gbero Olajigbe. He is the Executive Director of Emergency and Risk Alert. Good morning, Mr. Gbero.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. Okay, before we move on, I need to ask you this. Have you casted your vote?
Yeah, no, I've not done that.
All right.
It will be done very soon.
Okay, let's start with INEC. And before today, INEC, there was a time they cried out that they were not ready for the election because of the scarcity of naira and fuel. Of course, later on they said, they were fully ready, and subsequently we've been seeing their posts and things they've been doing. So, what do you think about this?
Yeah, we have to thank God at least the day is here. That's what we can say for now. Whether INEC is, we can't conclude on that yet until we hear report from other places, and there are no issues. And so then we can conclude that they were actually ready. So it's too early to conclude whether INEC is ready or not. Whether they were ready or not, they will normally break, and that is what we have had. We have a new day, election day. The output and outcome of today will determine whether INEC was actually ready. So we can't conclude on the readiness of INEC now until we begin to receive reports from FIS and other places.
All right, we'll connect to
I have seen sketches of reports that have been sent to me that people have stayed at their polling station for polling booth rather for over an hour, and they have not cited any INEC official. So I just think maybe that is still teething problem and is very inconsiderate for one to conclude now whether INEC is not ready already.
All right, what are some of the issues that you think INEC might face today?
Well, logistic. I have not, maybe that is one of it's going to be the biggest challenge that they are facing. Because you will realize that it was only 4 days ago, or less than, about 4 days ago that the meeting between INEC and the CBN governor happened. So they were still talking about releasing cash that time. That could have gone in a way to affect the logistic, but like I have said, we can't reach conclusion now. And logistic here means taking the critical materials to pulling booths across the country, whether on the land, on the air, or even in the riverine areas. So we are yet to hear reports about logistics from many places.
All right, we know that most of the staffs that INEC use.
Second, organization of INEC officials. INEC officials, they have to move from their various houses to another. And in this era where you have to have cash before you board transport to where you are going, it can be cumbersome for those who have nothing in their pockets. So even though INEC have access to naira, most of their field staffs are not likely to have access to naira that will have aided their means of transportation. Not everyone is taking transferring more, and even where they do, it could be time consuming, and that might affect.
All right, Mr. Gbero, the officials that INEC uses, we know that they are not their staffs, and right now they've deployed over 200,000 people, including the youth corpers. And talking about these youth corpers, we know that most of them, they are inexperienced, and the fact that they give them accommodation wherever they get to, they give them food and all that. Do you think they'll be able, to stay off the influence of the government?
No, they are not likely to be influenced. One thing I used to concede to the young people in Nigeria is that to a large extent, it doesn't matter how we view them.
But we know they are young and inexperienced.
I'm not saying that some of them might not be. Some of them might be tempted. Some of them might compromise, but not large number of them, not large percentage of them. Because one, even though if state governments are providing a bit of comfort for them, which is necessary, which is important too, their commitment should be to Nigeria. Except we are saying that what they have learned in their various orientation camps is a waste. So I have to concede to them. It is not the first time of using them, and they have performed creditably even in the past. And I'm not sure this will be an exception in terms of their performance. The young people are committed to the project Nigeria. They are vulnerable, but they can rise above their vulnerability in terms of getting compromised by state level officials. And whether we like it or not, they are still Nigerians that have their own preferences. So, as some of them, like I said, they have strong mind and they have taken position, even though they are expected to be neutral. So all this will come together in various permutation to complement the inability, the ability to stand against any corrupt practice.
All right, that's the core members. Now let's talk about the lecturers. At the time, INEC said, they were not going to have lecturers again because they are political. But later on, they said they will use some lecturers, those who are apolitical. Now, my question is, what's the yardstick for measuring lecturers who are apolitical?
Who is apolitical in Nigeria? There's no human being that is apolitical. It's what Plato has taught us, that we are all political animals. We are all political, and more essentially, we are Nigerians. Nobody is not political. The lecturers are political and they deserve to be political. What we are just, what we should look at is, look at the one that is honest. Those who, even though they have preferences among these political actors, those who can lose honorably, even in their own argument, but not a fanatical one that is supporting a particular candidate. Such persons should not be appointed. Who have strong opinion, almost extreme opinion. But largely, Nigerians, we are not going to bring angels to come and conduct election in Nigeria. Everyone is political. For example, I have my political preference now, but that does not mean that if I'm given a duty to perform as a return officer, that I will return my candidate. That will be foolishness. That is not voted for.
All right,
so we should concede.
I have to continue. Let's connect to one of our correspondents. Hello, Ebolua.
Okay, yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Please, can you tell us what's going on in your polling unit?
Okay, I just entered, I just got to Ejigbo LCDA, one of the polling units, and in Ejigbo we have two places here now that voting has started, and everybody is coordinated. They are doing what is expected of them. We have plenty of security guards are available. We have voters who are also there to exercise franchise. Unfortunately, in areas like Jakonde Estate, voters are there. Nothing is happening as at 10, 20, 30. Nothing, no materials, no INEC materials, no INEC official. We just have the presence of police guys around. So, although those guys there, they said they are optimistic that the INEC officials will still be available. They will still come, but as I'm talking to you, nothing is happening there. We also have at Ilamoshe, where we have people waiting patiently, the INEC material, INEC officials are not available, so there's no voting right now. Although people are waiting patiently to, and optimistic that INEC officials will still come.
Apart from that, can you tell us about the security situation?
Yes, everywhere is calm. We have at Ward 3006. We have presence of we have security guards available. We have soldiers who are also parading the area. The truth is the security is top notch. There's no violence, nothing of such, but a lot of people are coordinating themselves very well. The police guys are also helping. We have civil defense who are also available. So people are well coordinated in those areas we have gone to.
Okay, have you experienced any failure with the beavers, in the local government?
Yes, at Chipita, that's Chipita Avenue, we learned that the beavers, although it is working, that's both 028, although the beavers is working, but there's a particular issue, which is the beavers is not capturing the facial properly. Is what we gathered is that since the face is not in tandem with the face on the voter's card, they are having issue with that. Although the thumbprint is fine, but what one of them told us is that they are told it is either the face or the thumbprint, but INEC officials are insisting that they will take both the face and the thumbprint, which is giving them now. I've left there, but we don't know what's happening presently. That was what we gathered when we were there. The INEC officials insisted that the beavers must take both the face and the thumbprint. That was what they were told. But the party agent said that they told them either the face or the thumbprint. So the beavers is giving them issue in that regard. Except that there's no other problem.
All right, thank you very much, Abolu Asesu, for joining us this morning. I will connect to you later on, to give us more details. All right, Mr. Agbero, you've heard what some of the local government in Lagos, they've not gotten their, the INEC officials are not there, and the beavers is also not working in some areas. What do you have to say about this? Can we say INEC is really ready? Like my first question where I told you, they were bedeviled with some issues before today.
Yes, that's why I received some report too in terms of where INECs are not around the country now. Not only even in Lagos alone, even in Abuja, there are some people actually they are pulling booths now that cannot vote yet. But the challenge is a teaching one, and like I have told you, that is the price we are paying for this reckless Naira design policy. That is the price we are paying for that policy. People cannot move and don't get again. Yes, it is difficult for them to move from one place to another. Some are living in very far areas who are supposed to work for INEC and everything, and not that they are camped in a particular place so that all of them could move at the same time. So I will still consider that as teething problem until we get to maybe around 12 o'clock noon, and it is still non-abating. Then we cannot begin to conclude that is becoming a very critical issue and critical problem that we need to urgently respond to, so that we can have a very fair, free and credible election.
Before we move to our social media corner, let me just ask you this one. Do you think NURTW members should have been allowed to distribute, the materials, taking in the fact that most of the members work for their state governments? No, I think every case should be treated on its own merit. If someone has been politically exposed, like the case of MC Oluomo in Lagos and everything, is highly politically exposed.
then you might not use that one. And like I told you, there is no Nigeria that is neutral. It's only that we are more, some of them, we are more political than others. In some we should look at, if you want to say that NTW, if you don't want to use them, who are you going to use? There's nobody you are going to use.
Don't you think INEC can organize something else?
What do they call him? Difference is that he is heading a part of government, which is park and garage. So excluded it from being used in a fair atmosphere of election. That is what I can say, because his principal, the Lagos state government and officials are participating in this election, and he has come out to declare and support and actively work for a candidate, a person who is a candidate in this election.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bero, but please hold on, we'll back to you. Let's quickly to our social media corner. Otu?
Voting is not only our right, it is our power. Here on Social Hub, we bring you all the social media talk happening live. To join the conversation, follow on Twitter at Vanguard NGR News. Now, let's dive deep and see what Nigerians are saying.
Okay, my name is Otu Unkoedet, and this is the Social Hub where we give you trending stories as regards the INEC, as regards the election going on down here at today, 25th of February 2023. And basically, the early hours of this morning, there have been some trending stories coming out from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. But our first story will be looking at the Nigerian artist coming out the early hours of this morning by 6 a.m. to show their duty, to exercise their duty, to ensure that their basic necessities are being done. Let's take a look at most of these videos on social media.
Hey guys, we're out here already. It's just past 6. I'm here. Guys, let's do this. If you have a PVC, you cannot stay at home. Actually, it's a sin for you to stay at home today. It's not Christmas Day. I know we felt like it was Christmas Eve yesterday. It is not Christmas. We are not staying at home and eating rice and eating chicken. We're coming out to vote. So if you have your voter's card, your PVC, you must come out. All right? People are already coming out. You know what I mean? Let's do this. Nigeria decides.
As that has been the video emanating from the trending issues as regards Twitter. Our next story will be the residents of Kogi community jubilating as regards the Kogi National District filling up the 2 spaces from the local government. The residents of Kogi Central Senatorial District have filled up 2 of the roads excavated by the state government a few hours before the presidential and national assembly elections in the country. In a video shared early hours of this Saturday, there were several jubilations as regards to that. We are seeing rejoicing, whereby caterpillars came out to fill up the roads. From that story, celebration at Kogi people filled up 2 of the excavated roads. This is credited from Adiola Feyu. Let's take a look at that story from Instagram. Our last story now will be on several pictures as regards the election, which has been coming up from the Nigerian Decides 2023, whereby youth corpers are being ready to exercise, to show what they need to do. That has been our social media hub.
All right, thank you very much for that, for that lovely tweet from Twitter. And of course, please keep the tweets coming. Let's know what's going on in your area. And of course, you can also send videos to our Twitter handle. And of course, our social media platforms, they are currently displayed on your screen, so you can follow us to get more updates on things happening right now in Nigeria. My name is Damlola Ogunshaki, and this is where I have to draw the curtain. But of course, stay with us as another guest will be coming into our next segment.